Hello, everybody. This is our weekly preview video for really, I'm actually just going to kind of make it for the next couple of weeks because your students will be working on a research project and they'll be doing a lot of the same type of stuff for a couple weeks until spring break, which, believe it or not, is coming up pretty quickly. So as always, your students can get into their Google Classroom and to find what they need. Right now, we're finishing up our informational text unit, which is sort of the bridging the gap between the argumentative writing unit and the where they did have to read and analyze information, but they didn't have to search for it because I presented them with viable options on their research, and now they're practicing finding some of their own information so that they can then go jump into that a little more deeply in their research unit. So that will end today, actually. It's going to end today on Wednesday, the 22nd. So tomorrow they're going to start their research unit, which tomorrow will have already happened by the time you get this video. So this week, during the week of, so February 23rd, they'll start their research unit. And remember that they can always find what they need in, so we have additional resources. They can have, my gosh, like a copy of the First Rule of Plunk, but also my YouTube channel and the day-by-day agenda. That's the really big thing, is the day-by-day agenda. If your student is absent, especially for an extended period of time, they need to come to the day-by-day agenda to see what they missed. And then if they have questions from there, they can ask. They should ask, but they should start at the day-by-day agenda because there's a lot of resources and information in there. Okay, so speaking of the day-by-day agenda, let's jump into it. So starting on the 20th, all my dates are wrong, but basically starting on Thursday, which I believe is the 23rd, students will start researching what is research and what's the research process. We'll watch a video. We'll talk about what's the difference between argumentative and research writing, which I think they actually will have down at this point because we are like pretty far from that at this point, like I think mentally in their brains. And then let's see, but also what do they have in common? Because they do have some things in common. We're talking a lot about text structure and how different text structures can help them being able to identify a text structure using keywords for each of those text structures can help them understand and deepen their comprehension of what they're reading because they can understand the purpose. Why did the author write this? Why did they choose this text structure? So they're going to be doing a text structure drag and drop activity. We've already kind of covered text structure, just a little bit more reinforcement, and then fact versus opinion, which kids know, but it's a whole different beast when they're dealing with the internet. So that's why we go over it again. Okay. Then starting on Monday, so next week when this video really is for, students will start, so we're going to start with reading informational text and summarizing it. So they're going to have 2 days to read this text. We're going to annotate it together. We're going to do something called a QFT, which is question formulation technique. So strategic questioning and how valuable that can be in helping them deepen their comprehension. And then, like I said, they'll write a main idea. They'll write a summary with main idea graphic organizer and the SAC topic sentence. So this is just an acronym for, I'll have to look at it, but I made this up, so I should know this. But say it, assign it, I don't know. I'll tell you next week. Okay, and then we'll review the rubric together so they know how they're being graded. So they'll have 2 days for the first text, then we'll do it again for another text. So some good summary practice. And then next Friday into the next Monday, we'll be doing something called Evidence Palooza, where they are able to look at what is good evidence. So there is the like a test: is it credible? Is it reliable? Is it accurate? is it gosh, now I can't remember what the second A is either. And then is it so yeah, we'll go over this. We're gonna talk about UAPs, and then we'll read another text and we'll talk about identifying plagiarism, and we'll practice reading and interpreting visuals, tables, infographics, and videos. And then yeah, okay, so then the next week, then that Tuesdays we'll have they'll watch a video on how to choose that research topic. They'll have time to investigate that research topic. We'll go over how to cite a source. I'm not going to be too stringent on it, but it is a skill that students at this age are supposed to learn so that they are not stealing intellectual property. They are old enough and do need to know how and do need to cite. So I will teach them how, and they will be required to do it in order for their work to count. And then they'll have time to work on their research, and they'll be working on their research and finding sources for a couple of days. They'll write a thesis statement. On the 8th and the 9th, they'll finish their research. They'll have writing time, which again, the way I set it up, usually their research leads into their writing, so they don't end up needing a ton of time to write. And then they'll be weaving we'll cover weaving evidence and explanations into their work, graphic organizer. Finally, they'll be writing their research writing rubric. We'll be starting peer revisions and edits. And actually, our students did awesome. They did peer editing on their argumentative writing pieces, and they did really a great job. A lot of times what I see with kids this age is they'll just say, it was great, because they want to be nice and they don't like conflict. Your students were awesome at still being able to be nice and kind, but like actually be nice and kind by helping their peers improve their papers. It was awesome. So we'll do that again for sure. They'll have 2 days to work on that and to work on their presentations. Speaking of presentations, they're going to need to do some sort of end of project presentation, and there are different kinds. So they can do a slide deck, which is for free, and they can do on their Chromebook. But some students might want to do a poster board or like a fold-out board, like a tri-board, but basically, if they want to do anything that they can't do on a school device, they're going to need to provide those supplies. So like a diorama or whatever, they're going to need to bring it, have that shoebox available for them, and they will need to be able to like work on it here in class also some. Okay. Finally, on Tuesday before spring break, they will submit their papers on Tuesdays and have time to work. They'll probably have time to work on the paper that day if we need it, but then they will have time to work on their presentations. And then finally, actually Monday's the time to work on the presentations day, and Tuesday is presentations day. So if you have any questions, please reach out. And yeah, all right, thanks so much.